Hey there, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel today for another Fortnite Battle Royale video. Now, in today's video, we have a ton of stuff to go over here. There are updates on the cube, where it's going, what it might do, and a whole lot more, guys. If you enjoy, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, as well as drop a like and turn on notifications so you can stay in the loop and in the now for everything regarding the game, because trust me, there is a ton going on, and you are definitely not going to want to miss out. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how the cube that was formed after the lightning strike sucked up the rift in the sky has actually been moving. It's been going around the map and randomly rolling about every hour and a half or so. The coding of the game's files actually does suggest that the cube is going to be stopping at a lake, and of course it's heavily rumored to be Loot Lake. If you take a look at the current trajectory of this cube, it is in a straight line currently to Salty, and of course, further on in the path is Loot Lake. Now, Loot Lake and Salty Springs have been two of the most talked about areas to be modified in Season 5, and I think honestly everything is lining up perfectly here. If you had to make me guess and make me completely guess here, I would say that this cube is going to do something to either Salty or to the Loot Lake. Now, as you can see, when the cube moves, it does knock down structures. It will knock down anything in its path. So now I'm wondering, if it does go through Salty, if it does stay on the current path and go straight through Salty en route to Loot Lake, it's going to knock down the houses there. It could completely change the landscape of Salty Springs or anywhere else it decides to go through. Now, this cube does have some strange symbols on it. It almost looks like hieroglyphs. It just looks like a strange language that nobody can quite decode. A lot of symbols that obviously have a lot of different meanings, but we don't know it. So these symbols seem to be of great importance. They show up whenever you shoot it, whenever you hit it with your pickaxe, and they also just show up randomly every 30 seconds or so when staring at it. Not to mention, when you fly into the area, the vicinity of this cube, you see a bunch of those random letters, those strange symbols on the side of your screen. Strangely, I had the feeling when I first saw this cube and first saw these symbols that I had seen them before, like they were not completely new. So I did some thinking and I did some research, and I found out that these appear to be very similar, okay? And let me just explain. These symbols appear to be extremely similar to the symbols displayed on the Week 7 loading screen for Season 4 last season, when the Visitor was actually programming launch codes into the rocket. Another layer of defense I can add to sort of help my theory here is the fact that associated with this cube event in the game's files, there is another line of code that says rocket_big bang. So there's definitely going to be some other kind of rocket influencing what's going on here, and the launch codes of this rocket appear to be both the same and at the least very, very similar in both of these places. Now, like I said before, we're gonna have to wait and see what's going on exactly, but it does appear that Salty Springs and Loot Lake are the two most likely destinations that this cube could be going to. Now, Loot Lake, obviously, because in the game's coding, like I said, it's supposed to be stopping at a lake, and obviously the biggest lake in the game is Loot Lake. So that makes a lot of sense. And of course, Salty Springs for a number of reasons. Number one, there have been all sorts of theories about Salty Springs getting destroyed by the end of Season 5. All the stone heads are pointing directly at it. There was also a launch hologram directly under the map in Salty Springs in replay mode. And on top of all of that, it is directly under where the main crack in the sky was before it disappeared and got smaller, of course. But when it was big and at its full force, it was like the only place under a crack that had been made in the sky that had not been modified. As you can imagine, with all these reasons, plus even more that I won't get into in this video, it has been among the top places theorized to be deleted and completely obliterated before the end of the season. Now, if you'll recall, the way the cube actually spawned and formed in Fortnite was by a lightning strike from the rift. When it was still shooting lightning, it was hitting the ground and it made the cube. Now, it had been striking the same spot with the cactuses over and over and over for a day or so before the cube even formed. One strange oddity, though, is that there was one singular lightning strike that actually struck somewhere else. It actually struck just outside of Salty Springs, directly in the trajectory of the current cube.
Bro, what? Bro, it's everywhere now. How are you gonna do a summer skirmish?
So why would there be one random strike out of every one that happened, out of the hundreds of strikes that probably happened, that went to Salty Springs and not to the main area in the desert in the southeastern corner of the map? They wouldn't have it hit Salty for just no reason at all. Like, literally, there's gotta be some kind of reasoning behind it, and it very well could foreshadow the elimination of Salty Springs in the future with this upcoming cube update. On top of that, even after the cube formed, there was some more strange stuff heard in the sky. We have previously heard jet planes, and we have previously heard like strange alien sounds. We've at least thought they were alien sounds. But we've got a brand new sound, which appears to be something like a dinosaur roaring or screeching. I'll let you guys hear it. Wow, so that's extremely strange and definitely something we have not heard before in Fortnite Battle Royale. It sounds a lot like a dinosaur, and maybe even if not a dinosaur, I could even see how it could be like a Viking scream, you know? Obviously, this season has a good bit to do with Vikings. Even the level 100 skin is Ragnarok, you know? That is literally the main guy off of the Battle Pass, even though he hasn't made an appearance in the storyline yet. I'm assuming at some point before the season's end, there's going to be something in the season that has to do with Ragnarok. And while I definitely agree this does sound like a dinosaur scream, it definitely also, in my mind at least, sounds like kind of a Viking call-out battle cry. Let me know what you guys think. By this point, I'm sure you guys are aware of the fact that Tomato Town in a recent update has been destroyed and completely replaced with a place called Tomato Temple. Now, earlier today at 2 p.m. Eastern, today is the 27th, and today there was rumored to have been a tomato event, something going on in Tomato Temple with a tomato event. It was supposed to have gone on today. That's been a leak that's been out for a long time. Of course, everyone at 2 p.m. was ready for whatever was going to happen. Nothing did. Now, just because nothing actually happened today doesn't mean nothing will eventually happen, because as you guys know, recently the last update was delayed 2 days, and the challenges were delayed a day too. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of that also delayed this, because the rift shrinking event, which was supposed to happen a couple days ago, was also delayed along with the update, and sure enough, the rift did shrink, it did go away. I mean, just because it didn't happen, it's still in the game's coding, it's literally still a big part of what Epic is trying to do, so I do feel like eventually this tomato event will still happen, especially considering the Week 8 loading screen that was recently leaked shows all of our characters, including Drift, at the Tomato Temple, doing something, having fun, chilling, who knows. As soon as we get any more information on what's to come or when it's coming or how it's gonna happen, you can count on me to bring you the news as fast as I possibly can. Guys, make sure you guys go ahead and have on those post notifications if you want to be updated with Fortnite and get the news. This is definitely the place, the channel to be on YouTube. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you personally think is going to happen with this cube. Is it going to stop at Loot Lake? Is it going to stop at Salty? Do you think it's going to have a big effect on the map for the rest of the season? I feel like maybe we could be in store for a surprise. They could basically just throw us a curveball, and I feel like it's going to be tough to actually predict what's going to be going on exactly at the end of the season. It does look like this cube event is going to bring along with it some kind of a rocket bang, so I don't know if the rocket from Season 4 will come back, or if there will be another rocket, or what's inside the cube, or who's controlling it. We still have a lot of questions unanswered, and like I said, as soon as we get info, as soon as we find stuff out, I will be among the very first to break it to you here on my YouTube channel. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like I said, make sure to turn on notifications, drop a like, and drop a comment, and let me know what you thought. Until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later.